Emanating from the Londonderry Bowling Center in Londonderry, New Hampshire, it's Big Shot Bowling. Big Shot Bowling is brought to you by Duddy Ford. From economy to luxury, you'll find it at Duddy Ford. By Diamond Chevrolet, where you always get a diamond of a deal. By Durette, custom concepts in cast lucite. Big Shot Bowling is brought to you in conjunction with the World Candlepin Bowlers Congress. Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Fouracre, along with Dan Murphy here on Big Shot Bowling. And as always, it's our pleasure to present to you a couple of outstanding Candlepin bowlers. We have Scott Rondelli as the challenger, and he'll be taking on our defending champ, and that is Doug Smith. And Danny, we're looking for another interesting match.
Well, it's still looking for somebody to win 2 matches in a row. A couple weeks ago, Steve Vadnais won one, then got beat by Don Richmond. Last week, Don Richmond defended his title and lost to Doug Smith. So still looking for that person to put a few wins in a row, and maybe Doug's the one to do it.
Now let's take a close-up on each guy. First of all, the challenger, Scott Rondelli from Stoneham, Massachusetts. What about this man?
Well, he qualified with a 646 score, 3 pins difference between his score and Doug Smith. Carries 114 average, 191 single, and 479 for a high triple.
Not too shabby at all, and he'll be taking on the defending champ, Doug Smith from Braintree, Massachusetts. And Dan, what can you tell the viewers about Doug?
Well, last week, as I said, he defeated Don Richmond, throwing a 395 triple, and he opened up with 2 big games, slipped a little bit in the third, but he was able to hold on for the win. This week, of course, he's got 122 average, 188 high single, and amazing is the 3-string total of 505 he's got for an individual high 3.
Well, we're looking for a good one here on Big Shot Bowling. It's Scott Rondelli, the challenger, against Doug Smith, the champ. We'll be back with the first of 3, but first, let's take a time in for these commercials. Bob Fouracre with Dan the Man Murphy, and here we go. Scott Rondelli blasting down 9 of 10, leaving but the 7. First time with us for Scott. Danny?
Oh, left-hander from Stoneham, Massachusetts. Tries to cover the 7-pin for a spare. Whoa, just went by.
The Portsider misfiring on that one. He has an average of a 114. And he'll settle 4-9. Scott has been bowling Candlepins for 17 seasons. This is his 2nd year on the WCBC Tour. There's a drop of 7.
Leaves himself the 1, the 6, and the 8 in the back.
Hoping to mix him up for a spare. A little bit off target. Scott with a high single of a 191, high triple of a 479.
That's what he wanted to do.
Cleans him up for a healthy 10. 19 after a couple for Scott Rondelli. And here's our defending champ, Doug Smith, who had an outstanding week in defeating Don Richmond 7 days ago. He beat him with a 395 to a 375. Started off with a 141, then a 152, dipped to a 102, but he won it by 20.
Let's try. Tried to get the wood moving in front of the 4 so he could carry the 6 and the 10.
And an 8 count. Our official for today is John Patorsky. Some of you might remember John as he made the limelight last week. Did he ever? He shared with us his best side a week ago.
Good
There's
cover
the
by Doug.
spare.
First mark of the match. 5, 8, and 9 for the spare.
Rondelli on lane number 29. And on the head, but he's got a tough leave. He qualified for Big Shot Bowling with a 646. I'd point out for those of you that are new to this show that all the bowlers on Big Shot are members of the World Candlepin Bowlers Congress. And a 10 for Mr. Rondelli. 9 and then a couple of 10s. Our statistician for this show is Cheryl Young. Oh, nice one.
Good looking ball. Leaves a 10.
The lady who's keeping score on the scoreboard that you see on your screen is Bert Perangeli. A spare. So each guy with a spare now. Our director today is Bob McElroy, assisted by Jim Murphy.
7th fill. As I mentioned last week, and still the conditions are nearly the same. Lanes were just refinished here at Londonderry Bowling Center. And also the lane conditioner, it's an oil that they put on the lane, helps that ball slide a little more than usual rather than break. And basically makes the lane a little slippery.
Yeah, we can attest to that after watching last week's show. John Patorsky
found out just how slippery it really was down there. If you missed it last week, John wanted to remove the wood that had rolled out of play and went to throw it down lane 30 and practically threw himself down the lane as well.
It was absolutely, totally mental. We apologize for Dan Murphy's unprofessionalism at the end of the show. I kept my composure throughout, but Dan totally lost it as he blew his mental cookies. Hey, nice shot by the champ. Let's check in on that again. Nice one.
Wood and the pin at the same time. Wood carried the 7. Ball got the 9. Good shot. And the 7 fill for his spare. And the lead by 2.
So the challenger jumps up by a couple of pins. Oh, nice try. Oh,
just came back and got it.
Oh, here goes John. Hold on, everyone. Get the replay ready in the truck. Patorsky, as he tiptoes. Here he goes.
Easy. Everyone say easy, John.
Easy, John. Oh, they know him around here. He's a living legend in the world of Candlepin Bowling.
Crash Patorsky. Good 10 by Scott.
56 at the midway point for the challenger. Drop of a half dozen. Let's see if Rondelli can do some damage down there on the pin plate on lane 30.
2-4-7 with a 10 in the right-hand corner.
Not enough action. And a 10. 66 after 6. That's the score for Scott Rondelli. And here is Big Doug Smith.
Whoa, no doubt about that one. Wow.
Doug blew out all the candles on that one for the strike.
Now watch this one close. This is quick.
Looking for the double. He leaves a couple, the 5 and the 9. If anyone gets a triple here on Big Shot Bowling, he'll win himself a trip for 2 to Atlantic City. Compliments of Fresh Pond Travel, and they're located in Natick, Massachusetts. Trophies provided by George Gert Trophy Center, and they're in Worcester, Massachusetts. The winner will be grabbing $200, the runner-up $100, and then, of course, the big shot at the end of the show. We try to give away a Thunderbird, compliments of Duddy Ford in Westboro, Massachusetts. All the winner has to do is hit the triple. Simple as that. And one of these days, we're going to give away that Thunderbird.
I think so. Don't miss it, folks, because the week you're gone, those VCRs out to tape these shows.
So we're moving into the home stretch of the first. Rondelli is trailing it by a half dozen. Oh, spread eagle plus the 9. Not an easy lead, but it can happen. One more to go for Scott.
Nice out by Scott. Split the 2 and the 4 and got the 6 and the 9, left the 10. That's a fine out.
75 with 3 to go. We're in the first of 3. Scott looking down at the 4 horsemen, the 1, 3, 6, and 10. Hoping to get a spare. So far he has 1 spare. A spare 7 in the 4th. Let's see if he can last through the 4 horsemen. Yes!
Nice shot. Played the outside. Head pin into the 3 pin, into the 6, and then into the 10. Nice shot.
Here's Doug. Doug owns Situate Bowlaway. That's in Situate, Massachusetts. A 9. So Doug leads it by 6, but he's opposite a spare. And he's going to have to show us a shot and a half if he wants to match that spare.
3, 6, 4, and 7. Looked like a pretty good looking ball going in. Broke sharp at the end though.
Oh!
Nice try.
Wow. Score that as a 10. 91 to an 85, but we might point out Scott is filling on a spare so he can take the lead.
Quarter break, not bad. 1, 3, and 10 left. 7 fill. A bad fill for 7 by missing the head pin.
He's got the lead now by 1 after filling the mark with a 7.
Outside again?
Oh.
Nope.
Almost. And a 9. 101 with 1 remaining. For the first timer here on Big Shot Bowling. Is an interesting leave, and to tell you how to play it is the expert of Candlepin Bowling here on Big Shot Bowling, a man who holds the record for the high triple, also holds the record for back-to-back spare 1s. A man who is just #1 in the heart.
Okay, Bob.
Oh, I'm sorry. You want to tell him how to play this? Okay.
You're going to try to pinch the 4 on the left-hand side, jump over the 10 pin. No, he's.
Oh!
Thanks, Bob.
Oh, he got it. He got it. Just the way Dan Murphy said he'd play it. Oh, Danny boy, you called it right on the button. Let's watch it again, and you can recall it again.
No, he played it wrong. Where's the ball? There it is.
There it is. Oh, my. I know why we have you with us, Danny boy.
What a finish. I thought surely he'd go the other side.
What an expert you are. You are the best, Dan. 120.
Oh, wow. Nice shot anyway.
Your mother loves you, Danny. Here's Johnny. Here's Johnny. Go, Johnny, baby.
Watch it. Easy. Ooh.
Ooh.
Whoa, he's moving a little faster that time.
He's getting a little bit frisky down there. I'll tell you, if he goes down again, we're going to give him a saliva test.
Oh, nice try, Doug.
Doug Smith trailing it. By a slim pin. And now it's all even, but he's opposite a 19 frame. He's going to have to show us a good one, Dan.
Well, again, he's going to try to pinch that 5-pin on the right-hand side, just like Scott was supposed to do with a 4.
Oh, he did it!
Go.
Oh, baby, you know why we got Dan the Man with us. Dan, you are the best. There's no question about it. You are absolutely marvelous.
What helped him is the wood behind that 5-pin, that nice angle. That pin was going to jump toward the 7.
Hey, we got a tie ball game. A 119 to a 119 after 1. We'll have more exciting action coming up on Big Shot Bowling with Bob Fouracre and the Candlepin expert, Dan Murphy, right after we take a timeout for these commercials. Back we come to the action, and to get the second string rolling is Scott Rondelli. Oh, baby, did he ever. Both guys had a 120 in the first game.
Really scrambles him up down there. 1-3 pocket. Good follow through. Double.
Yes.
There we go.
Okay.
Next time up.
The stage will be set for a triple, and if Big Doug can get that triple, he'll win himself a trip to Atlantic City. Compliments of Fresh Pond Travel in Natick, Massachusetts. So now, Doug with 2 spares and 2 strikes in the match, back to back. Scott Rondelli on lane 29. And he'll settle for a 9. Nice try. Scott is up there on lane 30, and when Doug comes back, he'll be going after the triple, and if he hits it, he'll win himself a trip to Atlantic City. Compliments of Fresh Pond Travel.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Roll the dice. He's on his way to Atlantic City. All he has to do is throw 1 more strike. And maybe we'll give him a tune-up for possible victory and chance at a new car.
Big one coming up for Doug Smith, looking for the triple. He's 2 for 2 in the strike department in the string.
Here we go.
Here he goes.
Off target a little bit. Need a little luck. Nope.
A little tight on that.
Hold those tickets.
The plane is still on the ground. Since the inception of Big Shot Bowling, we have given away 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trips to Atlantic City. Jack Ray leads the pack with 2. Mike Sargent, Paul Wambeck, Tom Surrett, Rosario Lacchiata, and Dan Gallant. In fact, Dan had 4 strikes in a row.
4-bagger.
The record here on Big Shot Bowling for the high single is held by Tom Surrett with a 180. The high triple held by Dan the Man Murphy, a 467.
Nice shot. Nice shot.
Whoa! I want to watch that one again. There it is. Smith has taken the lead by a couple of dozen.
Oh, 8-pin drop. I think the wood will cover the head pin as well. It's hard to tell from that angle whether it's, I believe it will cover the head pin though. Well, he's going in the inside anyways. Nice shot by Scott.
Scott with his first mark in the second game and his 4th spare overall.
No!
Yes!
Wow, that was a quick
big one.
Nice ball.
That's
nice
his
ball.
first strike, and boy,
1-2. Watch this. This is fast.
the pocket
Whoa.
rocket was right there for the strike he got.
He's got a ball, of course, left-handed brace from left to right. A lot of mixing action that time when it hit the 1-2 pocket. So just when it looks like Doug Smith is going to run away and build up a comfortable lead, back comes Scott Rondelli with spare strike. Look at this.
Got it. No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Someone
No.
blow it over. I can't believe it.
Wow.
A 10. Oh, boy. Doug was robbed on that one. Packs it in the 1-2 pocket, drops down 6. Hoping to come out of it with a spare. Once again. What looked like another spare.
Oh, there
Yes!
it goes. Oh.
Rolling wood made it happen. Let's watch the end of that one.
Just got it rocking the right way when the wood touched it, enough to knock it over.
Here's Scott.
Looking for a double.
Scott with a spare and then a strike, 3rd and 4th. See if he can get a good shot here for a mark. Nope.
Oh, disappointing 5 fell on the strike also. A little light on the head pin, went for them all. It's a good try, just a little too light. Now looking to get out of it with a 9 or 10. Nice out.
And he climbs out with a 9. So Scott is trailing by 13. The first game, both men had a 120.
There's another strike.
And we're going to take a break right now as we watch the replay after a half dozen here in the second game. We'll be back with more exciting action on Big Shot Bowling, showcasing the champ Doug Smith and the challenger Scott Rondelli. Doug Smith up on lane 29. He's working on a spare. He leads it by 13.
You might want that one to stay up. Yeah, he was saying,
by
whoa.
20. However, when Scott comes back up, he'll be working on a strike.
All right, looks like he's going to have to go toward the 10 pin. That pin could be the problem pin. Looks like with the angle that wood, the ball may go around the 10 pin. Yeah, that's what happened when left the 7 also.
The goalposts leave the 7 and the 10. Nice try. So there's a 9 and a 101 with 3 remaining for Doug.
Oh, boy. When that ball left his hand, you knew he had a chance of throwing a strike.
That's
Just an
his
excellent
3rd
ball.
strike, Dan, and this one, as we can see on the scoreboard.
1-3 pocket, never a doubt. 8 pin was a little stubborn, but not for long.
Light
Scott,
hit.
light hit again, right. It's looked better going in than the result. 3-9 with the 4 and 10. Could be makeable with a piece of wood in there. Problem could be the 9 pin in the back. No, missed the object pin being the 3.
8 on the strike. So Scott is trailing by a dozen. Oh,
Nice 10.
Nice 10 indeed. Good pin picking by Scott Rondelli, a young man who is with us for the first time here on Big Shot Bowling. The port sider hoping to pull off a spare right here, right now.
Wants to try to match the mark of Doug Smith.
Oh,
and
does he ever with a superlative shot.
Splits the 1 and the 3. Head pin goes down and gets the 7. Matches, well, Doug, of course, has got a strike up, but matches the mark.
Doug working on a double.
Oh, he got a break there.
What he hoped would be a double.
Wow. Got a break there. Left the 1, 2, 3 by hitting it down there to 6 and 10.
Yes.
Covers it for the spare. That's the mark of a true champ. Gets a break and takes full advantage of it. Spare on strike.
He has 3 spares, 3 strikes in this game. Overall, he has 5 spares and I believe 4 strikes. Both guys had a 120 in the first string.
.144.
Hey, not bad. Along with a 120 for a 2-string count of a 264 for the champ.
Scott building on a mark in the 8th.
6 count.
Need to overkill something, but again, I think the conditions of the lane, Scott has either got to slow his speed down in the ball, make it break more, let it break more, or he's going to take a more direct route at the pins. The ball's hanging to the left because the ball wants to break back to the right, but it's not doing it because of lane conditions.
Nine. That gives him a 115.
Down by 20, wants to get a mark here. Get it back closer to 10, 15 going into the last game. Again, that ball is spinning, but it's just not breaking as sharp as Scott is used to having it. Nice try.
Looked good for a moment. Thought he was going to make it happen. It was a good shot. He just didn't quite get enough play down on the plate. And a 10 and a total of a 125. So a 120 and a 125 for the challenger, Scott Rondelli, and for the champ, Doug Smith, a 120 and a 144. There it is, a 264 to a 245. The champ on the plus side will be back with the final string, so stick around for more exciting action here on Big Shot Bowling. Back to the action we come in and get it rolling is Scott Rondelli.
Down by 19, and that's the way to start when you're down.
You got to do it when you're down. Gotta come in with a big ball, and he buries them all for the strike.
His 3rd strike?
Yes, it is, along with 5 spares.
Looking for the double. Ooh, very close to a lob that time. Very close. 4 horsemen to the right. 1, 3, 6, and 10.
Scott is going to try to negotiate this one for the spare. Yes!
Good.
Oh, mighty fine.
Light hit on the head pin. Just touches it. 10, the last one to go, and that's the way to do it, especially when you're down 19.
Doug has the lead, but he's going to have to get a mark or 2 because he'll be behind or even, probably. Doug Smith looking for his second straight win. Last week he defeated Don Richmond in a classic. Well, the scoring wasn't the best, but the show was one of the better ones because of John Potorsky, our official.
Well, there goes 13 of the 19 pins.
We got a new match going here. Last week it was Smith with a 395, Richmond with a 375, and Potorsky with a lot of bows to the crowd.
Well, Doug's going to have to make a nice shot here to try to match this mark of Scott Rondelli, or jeopardy of losing his lead. Outside.
Oh,
nice shot.
Oh, yes. 6 spares now, and a big one indeed.
I thought he might have hit the head pin too thin. Nothing touches that 2. Finally, the pin comes back, knocks the 2 down for the spare. There's Scott filling on the mark.
Scott knocks in a few, that's all. Not what he wanted to.
I pulled the ball far to the right that time.
The executive producer of Big Shot Bowling is John E. Legums. And he is assisted by Captain PJ, and they both are very instrumental in Six Gun Productions, the company that produces this show for New England Sports Network in conjunction with the World Candlepin Bowlers Congress. Oh my!
3 pin.
See if he can bail out with a spare. Ooh!
Everything but
almost.
the 5. Okay, John. Be careful now, John. Gotta check that wood out.
Yeah, Mr. Potorsky is going down there. He's got to wait till it settles in. Can't touch it when it's still in play. Look at John, he's talking to it.
Easy, John.
You get hurt, John. You're watching it all on the New England Sports Network. They love him here in Londonderry, New Hampshire.
About 2 9 boxes for Scott. Leaves the door open for Doug now to come back. Working on a mark in the second frame. 17 plus the fill.
See what Doug can do with this fill, as he's going to try to load it up with a hefty count.
Oh boy, he certainly
does.
1-2 pocket.
Pocket rocket, here it comes. Hold on. Strikey. 5th strike now for Doug Smith, along with a half dozen spares. Going for the double. Nope.
He's got the 2-7-10 piece of wood. Nice angle on next to the 2 pin. Got a shot at this one. Oh, up high.
Yes.
Got away with it though.
7 spares. Here's the 7th
spare. So sure he wanted to come that high in the wood, but a spare is a spare.
3 marks in this string. A strike and a couple of spares. Scott misfiring that time. Next week, the challenger will be Bernie Duhamel from the western part of Massachusetts, from the Brookfields, from Brookfield itself. Bernie's been around the sport of candlepin bowling for a long time, and he's had his share of wins. Score that a 9. Scott has had strings of 120 and 125, whereas Doug has produced a 120 and then a 144. Got them all but the 5 and the 8.
This is a must for Scott. He made one run at Doug the first part of this game with a strike spare, but since then Doug has come back with spare, strike, spare.
Now there it is. Spare number 7 for Scott, along with 3 strikes. hammered that one down. Put 5 into the spare. Looks down at the big 5 lead. Doug has jumped up to a 29-pin advantage in the match. He's leading by 10 in this string. And a 9. Opposite a spare.
Oh boy.
Half dozen strikes now for the champ.
Starting to throw those strikes. Get out of there, 4-pin. Oh, there's a break. 10-pin went down. 9 fell for Scott spare.
We're going to take a commercial break after the next 2 boxes for each guy. I think we missed it after 6, but that doesn't matter. We'll take it after 8. So we were on a mental vacation.
That slipped right by us.
A 2 fill on the spare. Very frustrating. 92. Rondelli hoping to clean them all up, but to no avail. He'll end up with a 7 count and a 99 with 2 remaining here in the final game. Doug on the plus side, working on a strike.
Looks good too. Oh, just went by that 7-9 fill on the strike.
So he's adding up the pins right now.
29 pins, the lead. Lose a couple here because of spare 2. But able to get him back here opposite of 7.
So now, as you said, he dropped 2, so he leads it by 27. And he's hoping to spare it up in the next ball. Looks like Mrs. Riley's duck soup down there.
This might be the last nail in the coffin.
And we're going to take a break right here on Big Shot Bowling after that spare by the champ, Doug Smith. We'll be back with the final 2, so stick around. Back to the action we come. We're down to the final 2 frames for each guy.
And it's strike time for Scott Rondelli.
Oh my, he didn't want that one. Scott is trailing by 27. We might also point out that Doug will be working on a spare so he can add to it. Ooh. Things are looking a bit bleak right now for the challenger.
Doug gets up there, he's gonna have to stay behind the foul line and finish the 2 boxes out, and he'll be a repeat champion, one that we haven't had for quite a while.
Once again, the challenger next week will be Bernie Duhamel. Hey, there it is, a strike. Let's see if Scott can strike out and win himself a trip to Atlantic City. 2 more to go, that's all. And if he gets a triple, the trip will be compliments of Fresh Pond Travel.
Get over.
Come on.
Come on.
Nope. Let's see if he can get the spare on the strike.
Now that puts him mathematically out of the match, so Doug Smith is going to retain his championship. But Scott is nothing to be ashamed of. Bowled pretty well. First time on the show. 371.
And a 126 for the final. along with a 120 sandwiched in between, a 125.
Consistent. 120, 125.
And a 371 is
26.
you saw, and Dan pointed out. So a 5 on the spare for the champ.
395 last week for Doug, and he's going to be pretty close to the same total.
There's a 7 with a 122. And he'll have an opportunity to try to win himself a Thunderbird. Compliments of Duddy Ford in Westboro, Massachusetts. All they'll have to do is hit a triple strike when we come back after the commercial break. And he's just rolling it out right now. Doug Smith will become our 2-time champ here on Big Shot Bowling. And he
129.
comes out with a couple of 7s. Enough for a 129, as Dan just pointed out, and a 3-string count of a 393. Not too bad at all. So Doug Smith wins it again this week here on Big Shot Bowling, and he'll be back and try to win himself a Thunderbird. So stick around for all the excitement. Once again, the winner here on Big Shot Bowling is Doug Smith, and Doug will have a shot at the triple strike and hope to win himself a Thunderbird. But before he does all that, we're going to talk with the runner-up, and that is Scott Rondelli. Scott, not bad, first time with us, 371. Better than your average, a 120, 125, 126.
Well, I was bowling consistent, and I just couldn't get it on together with 29 there. Just no luck on 29 whatsoever.
We noticed that. Well, you're going to get $100 and also a trophy from George Girton Trophy Center, and a few words of advice from, you know, Dan the man.
Nice bowling, Scott. First time is always tough. Be easy. Come on next time.
I hope so.
Okay. See you again.
Thanks. Nice having you with us. Congratulations. Scott Rondelli, let's hear it for him. And now, on lane 30, going after the automobile, all he has to do is get a triple. As simple as that. He'll win himself a Thunderbird. So let's bring up the man who's going to do it. Go get him, Doug. Doug Smith. Now he's going after an Amagift. Quite a come down from 16 or 18,000 to $5. Let's see if he can get it. Yes, okay, he'll have one more ball. He gets himself an Amagift, and now let's see what he's going to do right here.
8-pin drop.
Oh, that was close. How many? I can't see that far.
Four, Bob.
Okay. Hey, stick around here, champ. Come on over in the winner's circle. Nice going. Let's have a nice round of applause for the big guy. The second time in the winner's circle. You just don't seem to want that Thunderbird.
I guess not.
You told me you hitchhike up here from Braintree to Londonderry.
Yeah, I guess I did. It was a little wet out there, but I don't know. Coming back after bowling the matches, it's a little tough to get up there and throw strikes.
Well, we weren't going to make it easy for you.
Yeah, well, it's easier than last time.
Yeah, that's for sure. 395 last week, this week, 393.
It's just super. I hope it continues for a while, but somewhere along the line it's got to burst. I hope not for a little bit longer, though.
Another couple of $100 and another trophy from Girton Trophy Center.
Hey, there you go, Doug. Bernie Duhamel next week. You know Bernie?
Oh, yeah.
In the western part of the state, then he'll be a tough opponent for you. But you keep throwing 390s. It's tough when they need 400 to beat you.
I'm sure he can do it easy enough.
Well, stay right with us. We're going to say goodbye. Thanks for being with us here on Big Shot Bowling. This is Bob Fouracre for the champ, Doug Smith, and my partner, Dan Murphy, and the rest of my teammates thanking you so much for being with us and inviting you back next week for more exciting action. See you then.